artist. So I have a few groups that are doing this project. So we're going to do a little bit of review. I think my kindergarten and first will be doing this, and then pre-K is also going to do it. So we're going to do a little bit of review to make sure everybody understands it, okay? And then pre-K, this will be new to, okay? So what we're doing here is we're doing a Cubist flower, okay? Can everybody say that? Cubist flower. All right, so that first word, cubist, that's a funny word, isn't it? That is a style of making art that is very geometric, which means it has lots of points, okay? So instead of being curvy, it's what we call angular and has points on it, okay? Everybody see those points? So instead of being like this, it's angular, okay? So can everyone see the angles here? So I did a tulip, and I see 1, 2, 3, 4 points on my tulip. And then if you look in the background, I have all these squares and rectangles and funky 4-sided shapes. I even have triangles down here at the bottom, okay? So that is all cubism, all right, which means it's very angular, has lots of points, okay? So that's a style of making art, and that's what we're going to do today. So what you need is you need a piece of paper that's going to stay nice and tall or vertical, okay? It's going to stand up nice and tall, so it's vertical. And you either need markers or crayons. I used both, but you can use one or the other if you want to. All right, so while you guys are getting that, I'm going to draw my rectangle for where my paper is going to be, and it probably won't be quite straight. All right, there is my paper shape. Let's see. I do need to straighten this side up a little bit. There we go, a little better. Okay, so I'm going to use my black marker, and you either need to have a black marker or a black crayon. And what we're going to do to start with is we are going to make a U right in the middle of the paper. So you need a U. If you don't know your letters, like some my pre-Kers may not know their letters yet, that looks kind of like a U, or it's like a really, really big smiley face. See? Okay, so I've got my U, or my big smile. Now what I need is I'm going to make a rectangle underneath it, and that's going to be my stem. So I'm going to do a line all the way down, and then a line all the way down. See, that kind of makes a rectangle. A really tall and skinny one, right? All right, so we've got that. Now we need to make the top of our tulip. So what we're going to do is we're going to give it angles. So I'm going from both sides and I'm going in. Let me go over it again so you can see it a little bit better. So I've got my 2 angles, and then I'm going to do an arrow shape, and I'm going to do another arrow shape. So they're kind of like triangles, aren't they? They just don't have the bottom part. So there's my tulip. Now it needs a leaf. So I'm going to do a leaf shape. Okay. Now, here's the part where you get to make some decisions. You can do like I did and just leave one flower, or you could come over to the side and make another flower. Okay, I'm going to make another one just so it looks cool. So I did my U, I did my rectangle. I'm going to come over here and do this top of my tulip. I'm going to give it its leaf. Okay, the last thing we are going to have to draw for our tulip picture, our cubist picture, is our grass. Now we're going to do our grass kind of funny, and it's going to be triangles, okay? So I'm going to do triangles all along the bottom of my paper. So they're like triangles or even like pointy teeth. Everybody see my triangles? And remember, if I get ahead of you, or even if I'm going too slow, you can always pause the video or you can skip ahead, okay? So now here comes the fun part. We're going to make some lines through our picture. Now that sounds kind of funny, doesn't it? Normally I tell you don't mess up your picture by drawing lines through it. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 4 lines across it. So I'm going to do 1. Now they don't have to be straight. 2, 3, and 4. And if you notice, I'm going all the way from this left side, L for left, all the way over to this right side, and an R for right. So I'm going from left to right, okay, all the way. All right, after you've done that, we're going to go from the top all the way down to the bottom. So we're going to go from the top, I'm putting a T for top, all the way down to the bottom, and I'm putting a B for bottom, all the way from the top to the bottom. And we're going to do 4 lines again. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, it's okay if your lines are crooked, mine are too. All right, so now what we have to do is we have to look closely at our picture. Do you see how there are like squares and rectangles that are different than the other? So what we're going to do is we're going to use all of our colors, and we're going to color our picture in to where it looks like a cubist picture. So we're going to start with our flower, and I'm going to have purple. I'm going to get red. And if you have more than one color of purple like I do, or if you're lucky and have more than one shade of red, you can use that. So we're going to start with the flower, and before you do anything, I need you to watch me, okay? Now remember, I'm just scribbling, but you're going to color it in really nicely, or as nice as you can, right? So this square with the rectangle right here, I'm going to color that part of the flower in red. Okay, but I'm not going outside of that box, and I'm not going outside of the flower. I'm trying to do my very best and not color outside of those lines. All right, so I've got that one. Now I'm going to move on to the next one, which is this side. And I'm going to color it purple. Okay, now again, I'm not going outside of that box. And I'm not going outside of the flower petal. All right, there's my purple. Now I'm going to switch to my other purple. Okay, and I'm going to come up here to the top of the flower and color it. I'll come over to this side and color it. And then I've got one piece left of the flower, and I'm going to do it red again since I've already got 2 purples. So I'm going to be really careful and color it in red. Now, this one down here is very lucky. It only has 2 colors. So it's got this little bitty piece right here that's going to we'll make it red. And the rest of it is going to be purple. Okay, so I've got my little piece of red. And the rest of it, I'm going to do this dark, pretty purple. All right, now what color is the leaf on the flower and the stem? What color should that be? Does anybody know? It should be green. So I'm lucky, and I've got lots of different colors of green. Okay, so I'm going to use all of those. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on this one, my little bitty one, and I'm going to color this bright green. And I'm also going to color the top of the leaf that bright green because they're in the same square. Okay, I'm going to come over to the top of this one that's in this box with the red. I'm going to color it in. Now, if you think you know and you understand enough about what I'm doing, you can go ahead and start your coloring. But if you're still a little confused, keep watching, okay? You do need to keep listening, even if you're working, just to make sure that you are doing the right thing, okay? So I'm finishing my stem. Now I'm going to use my dark green, and I'm going to go back and color in. Oh, this one actually ended up being kind of lighter. That's funny. And I'm going to go back in and color some of the spots that I didn't get with my bright green. All right, let's try this green. Let's see what it looks like. It's a bright green too. These are all almost the same. Oh my goodness. All right, so I'm going to come over here and I'm going to color in my dark green. All right, so I've almost got all of my picture colored in. And one thing I'm going to do, I'm going to see if I have another green that'll really stand out. Okay, we're going to try. I think I found one. We're going to try and see if this works, if it's any darker. Oh, much better. Got to have a different shade of green so it stands out. All right, there's my dark green. I have to go and fix one spot. And I'm going to move the camera up a little bit so you can see better, okay? Because I want you to see exactly what I'm talking about. All right, so here's my Cubist picture. And do you see how each square has a different color? Okay, so this part of the flower is purple. This part is red because it's in a different square. Okay, same with the stem. This side of the stem is a different color than this one because it's in a different square. All right, so you should have all of that, hopefully. And now what we're going to do is we're going to start on the background. So what color is the sky normally? You got a few options. Do we know? It can be blue. That's normally what we see. It can be white if there's clouds. Sometimes it looks yellow because of the sun. During a sunset or a sunrise, it could be orange, could be purple, could be red. You have lots and lots of beautiful colors to pick from. But here's what I will warn you about. I am going to choose colors that I don't have on my flower and my stem. I'm going to use blues. I'm going to use yellows. I'm not going to use greens or reds or purples because I've already used them, okay? So again, I'm going to start on my picture, and I have to be really, really careful and not mess up my flower. So I have to work around them. And right now I'm using a blue to go around my flower, and I'm working around my flower, but I'm staying inside that square, right? So there's one blue. Here's going to be another one. And again, I'm scribbling, but I know you guys can color a lot better than that, okay? So there's my dark blue. Here's a bright blue I've got. And again, I'm working around the flower, but I'm staying inside the square. So let's see, I think I want to do some orange and some yellow. I may even do some black if it's a stormy day. I'm going to do black up in this square. So there's that. I'm going to do a yellow down here because it's right next to these blue. There's that. I'm going to do some orange above this blue. And then that's what I'm going to do all the way throughout the background, okay? And then after you have that, the only thing you'll be missing is coloring in your green grass. So if I do one green in this box, in the next box, I might do my dark green, okay? And then I'm going to switch back and forth through all of them, okay? And And then after you have that, your picture should be totally covered up with color. And it's going to look like a cubist picture, right? Because remember, we are cubist artists today. So here's my picture again so you can see it, all my different colors. All right, so that is what you're going to finish up with today, is finish working on your cubist artwork. I can't wait to see the finished projects. And if you have any questions or need any help, please let me know, all right? Bye.